Good morning and welcome to the Grade 10 Music. And for today's topic, we're going to discuss the Afro-Latin American and popular music. So the target objectives that we need to learn is to describe the historical and the cultural background of Afro-Latin American and popular music and show appreciation by creating simple infographic poster. So let's start with the music of Africa. So the music of Africa has always played an important role in the daily lives of Africans. It can be for work, religion, ceremonies, or even communication. For the African ceremonies, singing, dancing, clapping, and beating of the drums have essential roles even in religious expressions and political events. The wide influence of American music spread throughout the world. It permeated contemporary American, Latin American, and European styles. African music is a result of the collective cultural and musical variety of more than 50 ethnic divisions of the continent. The organization of this vast continent is a colonial legacy from European rule of different nations up to the 19th century, enabling it to incorporate its music with language, environment, political development, immigration, and cultural diversity. In the particular subject of research are its rhythmic structures and spiritual characteristics that have led to the birth of jazz forms. So let's discuss about the music of Latin America. So when we say the music of Latin America, its music is the product of three major influences of indigenous Spanish, Portuguese, and Africa. It pertains to Latin music because of the impact on the countries colonized by Spain and Portugal, spanning the following areas. For the Andean regions, which is a mountain system of the western South American, along the Pacific coast from Venezuela to Tierra del Fuego, we have here the Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, Peru, and Venezuela. For Central America, we have here the Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Panama. For the Caribbean, we have here the Cuba, Dominican Republic, Guadalupe, Haiti, Martinique, and Puerto Rico, and same with the Brazil. Because of the interracial relationship and immigration, the above-mentioned countries are also became the populated by the five major ancestral groups such as A. We have here the Indian descendant of the original native inhabitants of the region before the arrival of the colonizers. Another, we have here the African descendants from Western and Central Africa. European descendants of colonizers mainly from Spain and Portugal, but also those of French, Dutch, Italian, and British traders. ASEAN descendants of immigrations from China, Japan, India, and Indonesia or Java, and of course the mixed descendants from the above mentioned groups. So popular music literally means the music of the populace, developed in the 20th century music. Popular music is generally comprised of music for entertainment of large number of audience, whether on radio or in live performances. So let's discuss the traditional music of Africa. Basically, African music has interlocking structural format. It is mainly overlapping and has dense texture as well as its rhythmic complexity. Let's discuss the different styles and genres of traditional music of Africa. Number one is we have here the Afrobeat. It is used to describe fusion of Western Africa with the Black American music. Second is we have here Apala. It is a musical genre from Nigeria in the Yoruba tribal style. It is used to wake up worshippers after fasting during the Muslim holy feast of Ramadan. Percussion instrumentation includes the rattle or the sekere, the tam piano or the agidibbo, the bell or what we call the agogo, and two or the three talking drums. Number three, we have here the axe. It is a popular genre from Salvador, Bahia, and Brazil. It fuses the Afro-Caribbean styles of marcha and reggae and is played by carnival bands. Number four, we have here the jit. It is a hard and fast percussive Zimbabwean dance music played on drum with a guitar accompaniment, influenced by mbira-based guitar styles. Next style, we have here the jive. It is a popular form of South African music featuring a lively and uninhibited variation of the jitterbug. Jitter is a form of swing dance. Next is we have here the juju. It is a musical style from Nigeria that relies on the traditional Yoruba rhythms, where instruments are more Western in origin. A drum kit, keyboard, pedal steel guitar, and accordion are used along with the traditional dundun or the talking drum or the squeeze drum. Next is we have here the KWASSA. It is a dance style that began in Zaire in the late 1980s, popularized by the Kanda Bongo Man. In this style, the hips move back and forth while arms follow the hip movements. Next, and the last is we have here the Marbi. It is the South African three-chord township music of the 1930s to 1960s, which evolved into African jazz. It is characterized by simple chords in varying bumping patterns with repetitive harmony over an extended period of time to give the dancers more time on the dance floors. So let's discuss the different Latin America as influenced by African music. First up is we have here the reggae. It is a Jamaican musical style that was influenced by the island's traditional mento music. Its offbeat rhythm and staccato chords are the most distinctive qualities of reggae. Another is we have here the salsa. It is dance music from Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Colombia. It is composed of various genres including the Cuban son montuno, guaracha, cha-cha-cha, mambo, and bolero. Third one is samba. It is a Brazilian musical genre and style. Its roots can be traced to Africa via the West African slave trade and African religious tradition, particularly in Angola and Congo. In addition, it has basic underlying rhythm that typifies most Brazilian music. It is lively and has rhythmical beat with three steps to every bar, making the samba feels like a time dance. Number four is we have here soca. It is also called as the soul of calypso. It originated as a fusion of calypso with Asian rhythms, thus combining the musical traditions of the two major ethnic groups of Trinidad and Tobago. Is a modern Trinidadian and Tobagoan pop music combining soul and calypso music. Next is we have here wer. It is a Muslim music where often performed as a wake-up call for the early breakfast and prayers during the Ramadan celebrations. Relying on the pre-arranged music, it fuses the African and European music styles. And not but at the list is the zouk. It is a carnival-like rhythm from the Creole slang word for party. It originated in the Caribbean islands of Guadeloupe and Martinique and popularized in 1980s. In addition, it has a pulsing beat supplied by the guaca and tambour belly drums, a tibo rhythmic pattern played on the rim of the snare drum, a rhythm guitar, a horn section, and keyboard synthesizers. So let's discuss now the vocal forms of African music. The first one here is we have here the maracatu. At first surfaced in the African state of Pernambuco, combining the strong rhythm of African percussion instruments with Portuguese melodies. Maracatu Group called Nakos or nations who paraded with a drum assemble numbering up to 100 are accompanied by the singer, a chorus, and coterie of dancers. Next is we have here the blues. The blues is a musical form of the late 19th century that had deep roots in African American communities located in the so-called deep south of the United States, where the slaves and their descendants used to sing as they worked in the cotton and vegetable fields. In addition, the notes of the blues create an expressive and soulful sound. The feelings that are evoked are normally associated with misfortune, lost love, frustration, or loneliness. From extreme joy to deep sadness, the blues can communicate various emotions more effectively than other musical forms. The noted performers of the blues are Ray Charles, James Brown, Cab Calloway, Aretha Franklin, and John Lee Hooker, as well as the B.B. King, Bo Diddley, Erykah Badu, Erica Clapton, Steve Winwood, Charles Musselwhite, Blues Traveler, Jimmy Van Howe, and Jeff Baxter. Next is we have here the soul. It was a popular music genre of the 1950s and 1960s. It originated in the United States and combined elements of African American gospel music, rhythm and blues, and often jazz. In addition, the catchy rhythm is accompanied by hand claps and extemporaneous body moves, which are among its important features. Other characteristics includes call and response between the soloist and the chorus and especially intense and powerful vocal sounds. Some important innovators who made recording in the 1950s that contributed to the emergence of the soul music includes Clyde McPhatter, Hank Ballard, Etta James, Ray Charles, Little Richard, Otis Redding, and James Brown were equally influential. Next is Revere the Soul. Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson are often acknowledged as the soul forefathers, while Brown is called as the godfather of soul. Examples of soul music are Ain't No Mountain High, Ben, All Could Do Was Cry, Soul to Soul, and Betcha by Golly Wow. So spiritual music, it is associated with deeply religious person. It pertains to a song form known as the Negro Spiritual, sang by the African slaves in America who became enslaved by their white communities. This form of music is used outlet to express loneliness and angers. Spiritual is a result of the interaction of music and religion from Africa with that of the America. The text mainly religious and sometimes taken from biblical psalms or passages, while the music utilized deep bass voices. The vocal influences American accent and dramatic changes in the dynamic adds to the musical interest and effectiveness of the singing. Not that the list is we have here call and response. It is a method of a succession of two distinct musical phrases, which usually rendered by the different musicians, where the second phrase acts as direct commentary on or response to the first. It is somewhat same with question and answer sequence in human communication. It also resembles to the verse chorus form in many vocal compositions. Okay, let's identify whether if you learned something for our today's topic. So multiple choice, you need to choose the correct answer. Question number one, what is the main characteristics of Afro-Latin music? A. It is the use of drums and various percussion instruments, and occasional loud volumes were added to emphasize intensity. B. Its music was transformed from accompanied vocal solos to those accompanied by string instruments. C. Its danceable rhythms, passionate melodies, and exotic harmonies. And the correct answer is Letter A. It is the use of drums and various percussion instruments, and occasional loud volumes were added to emphasize intensity. Number two question. In this dance style, the hips move back and forth while the arms move following the hips. A. Kwasa-kwasa, B. Reggae, or letter C. Samba. And the correct answer is it's letter A. Kwasa-kwasa. Question number three. What type of African music will you perform if you will be given task to sing a deeply religious song? A. Call and response. B. Soul, or letter C. Spiritual. And the correct answer is it's letter C. Spiritual. Number four. Which of the following is not a characteristics of spiritual music? A. Texts are mainly religious. B. Taken from biblical songs. C. An outlet to express loneliness and anger. And the correct answer is it's letter C. An outlet to express loneliness and anger. Question number five. What is the main purpose of traditional African music to its people? A. Used for ceremonial rites. B. Used for their communication. Or letter C. Used to entertain visitors. And the correct answer is letter A. Used for ceremonial rites. Question number six. What musical instruments used in maracatu is a rope-tuned large wooden drum? A. Agbe. B. Al-afaya. Or letter C. Kaliksa. And the correct answer is letter B. Alfaya. Number 7. It is a carnival-like rhythm from the Creole slang word for party. A. Wer. B. Zook. Or letter C. Soka. And the correct answer is it's letter B. Zouk. Next, number 8. It is a hard and fast percussive Zimbabwean dance music played on drum with guitar accompaniment, influenced by mbira-based guitar styles. A. Jit. B. Jive. Or letter C. Juju. The correct answer is letter A. Jit. Question number 9. It is a method of succession of two distinct musical phrases usually rendered by different musicians, where the second phrase acts as a direct commentary on or response to the first. A. Blues. B. Soul. Or letter C. Call and response. Correct answer. It's letter C. Call and response. And lastly, question number 10. Musical form of the late 19th century that had deep roots in African American communities, located in the so-called Deep South of the United States, where the slaves and their descendants used to sing as they worked in the cotton and vegetable fields. A. Blues. B. Soul. Or letter C. Call and response. And the correct answer is letter A. Blues. So I hope that you learned something for today's topic. See you on our next meeting. Goodbye and thank you.